Shalom, brothers and sisters. So let's talk the classic bless those who bless you, curse those who curse you, and look at American up-and-coming politics. And I specifically find it really interesting that there's two stories trending at the moment around this topic in America. So I'm going to cover both, and they're polar opposites of each other. The first one, US presidential candidate rising in polls wants to end US military aid to Israel by 2028. Vivek Ramaswamy, the Republican presidential candidate, whose popularity has been growing, says the United States should reduce the military aid to Israel after securing an expanded Abraham Accords agreement. The Republican candidate further states he does believe the U.S. relationship with Israel has advanced American needs and interests. However, he wants to negotiate Abraham Accords 2.0 to include Saudi Arabia, Oman, Qatar, and Indonesia. 2.0, right? That final agreement of many. Could that be that? Ramaswamy wants to get Israel standing on its own 2 feet, while adding, Israel is standing by commitments we have already made. I want to get Israel to the place where it is negotiated back into the infrastructure of the Middle East, he added. He believes an Abraham Accords 2.0 would be good for Israel, good for the rest of the Middle East, and good for us. So he's talking about Israel like a baby that can't do anything on its own and needs to be taught to stand on its own and get back into the Middle East and call it a day. Interesting. And the whole Abraham Accords 2.0 statement, very interesting, specifically with us knowing that there is an agreement that will be strengthened by Antichrist very, very shortly on the horizon. And that agreement will span 7 years of so-called peace to be broken midway through at the 3.5-year mark. Now, contrasting his opinions on cutting America loose from Israel, Nikki Haley slams Ramaswamy. US aid to Israel makes us stronger. The US must maintain its close relationship with Israel, Republican presidential primary candidate Nikki Haley said, after fellow GOP hopeful Vivek Ramaswamy spoke about rolling back military aid to the Jewish state. Ramaswamy was completely wrong to call for ending America's special bond with Israel, Haley said. Support for Israel is both morally right and strategically smart thing to do, she said. Both countries are stronger and safer because of our ironclad friendship. Haley promised that as president, I will never abandon Israel. The candidate also accused Ramaswamy of having a concerning pattern of foreign policy proposals that make America less safe. So brilliant, agree with her, fantastic words. She's on point, but it's also why she won't make it into the White House. Anything that's good right now and anything that would actually fix things right now is not going to make it into the White House. Unfortunately, as much as the Biden administration is destroying America and doing it really well and just facilitating its absolute destruction and weakness on the world stage to prepare it for destruction, so also it is that time in the history of man, unfortunately, to bring it about. That's why there isn't someone strong in the White House that's fixing things in the White House, that's thinking clearly, because evil is rampant at the moment. And again, that's why, unfortunately, as good as Nikki Haley's statement is, her odds of getting into the White House, in my opinion, very slim. Should she not fight for it? Absolutely, she should fight for it. But I don't see it happening with the rate at which we're speeding towards the finish line and everything that's happening as it should prophetically. But it's really interesting to see two Republicans with two such massively divergent opinions on Israel. God bless. Pray for Israel. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Shalom.